Friends, welcome to Preeclampsia and Eclampsia, a consequence of immunological maladaptation, Part 2. HLA antigenicity of trophoblast. The vast majority of trophoblasts that comes in contact with the maternal immune cells does not possess the antigenic determinants required for T cell activation. The sensitive trophoblast lacks the classic HLA-1 and 2 antigens which are required for non-self cell rejection. These mechanisms helps to prevent the fetal rejection by the maternal immune system. There is tenfold increase in Th2 cells was observed in normal healthy pregnancy when compared to Th1 cells. Th2 cell preponderance in normal pregnancy shifts to Th1 dominance in preeclamptic pregnancy. Pro and anti-angiogenic factors in preeclampsia. Pro-angiogenic factors are vascular endothelial growth factor and placental growth factor. Anti-angiogenic factors are SFLT1 and soluble endoglin. In normal pregnancy, there is a balance between these factors resulting in adequate angiogenesis in placenta. In preeclampsia, there is excessive and uncontrolled rise in anti-angiogenic factors like SFLT1 and soluble endoglin. This uncontrolled rise in anti-angiogenic factors results from immune maladaptation mechanisms both at uteroplacental interface and also at different organ systems of the mother. SFLT1 binds to angiogenic proteins like vascular endothelial growth factor and placental growth factor and blocks their actions on endothelium, which diminishes nitric oxide mediated endothelial signaling. All these mechanisms results in endothelial dysfunction which leads to the clinical features of preeclampsia. Observations relevant to support the concept of immunological maladaptation. There are similarities between preeclampsia and other immunological disorders. Atypical presentation is the hallmark of immunological disorders. If we observe immunological disorders like SLE, scleroderma, rheumatic fever, and neurosyphilis, all of them are atypical in their clinical presentation. They need multiple criteria, major, minor, or their combinations for their diagnosis. Similar atypical presentations are also seen in preeclampsia. Concept of multisystemic involvement with unequal severity. In all these immune disorders, multiple systems are involved, but their degree of involvement is not of same severity in all the women. One of the systems might be leading and other organ systems might be lagging behind with different degrees of severity of involvement. In this process, some of the systems might not be involved or skipping. Similar pattern of multisystemic involvement and skipping of involvement of systems is also seen in preeclampsia. In a preeclamptic woman with multi-system involvement with unequal severity, if pregnancy continues further, the dysfunctions in all organ systems progress further and results in multi-organ dysfunction syndrome, which leads to maternal death. There is every need to consider this fulminant disease as similar to that of running a mismatched blood transfusion. Timely termination of pregnancy helps to prevent maternal death. Observations to support the concept of multisystemic involvement with unequal severity in preeclampsia. 40% of women develop eclamptic seizures at normal blood pressure and without proteinuria. Gestational hypertension may result due to the involvement of vascular system without a significant involvement of other systems. Isolated IUGR may also be due to the involvement of uteroplacental system without the involvement of other systems. Only renal dysfunction with massive albuminuria with elevated serum levels of SFLT1 and without the rise in blood pressure and involvement of other organ systems are also reported. Abnormal sonographic liver findings consistent with subcapsular hematoma prior to the clinical and laboratory findings of preeclampsia are also reported. Even HELP syndrome is classified as partial HELP and complete HELP based on the number of abnormalities involved. All these observations indicate the atypical nature of the disease, which is the hallmark of immunological disorders. Further continuation of the presentation will be with part 3.